Hi, welcome to the Stock and Knit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 159. Yes, and it is January 2015 for all of you future people. And you had a birthday party today.
Yes, my daughter turned 7 on Thursday, and we celebrated with Chinese food. And then had a whirlwind of a weekend with my mom and his mom, my husband's mom, in town, and then had a birthday party where we had 18 kids.
Woo! That's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids. But it went off, I mean, it was stressful, but it went off pretty smoothly. And got home and didn't want to do anything else. Like, I had so many things planned for the Lucy weekend, and I think the party was just, that was the end, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as that party happened, there was no going to color me mine or what, you know, she's already gotten this big stack of presents. What do you know, she doesn't care. So, we might do that some other weekend.
Yeah.
The plan was to have super girly weekend, so we went and got our toes done, and what else? We went shoe shopping because she had said she wanted boots for Christmas, like fashion boots. And I said, oh, let's wait for your birthday. And because I had already picked out all the presents for Christmas already, and that's what we did, but didn't buy them because she was indecisive and wanted to look at another store too.
Yep.
So, gotta wait and do that some other time because there's just not enough time in the day.
Decision making is hard, especially when, as a child, you know that you're not, as an adult, you're kind of like, well, I guess I could probably go back and buy something different. As a child, you don't have that luxury, so it seems very important. I remember, trying to pick out a My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
Which, what is old is now new. That's something that our daughters could do, but oh man, and I wonder what that store over there, what My Little Ponies they had, and what if I choose to spend my money on this one and then I go to a different store and I can't, they have one that I really want. And yeah. I didn't get into Barbies growing up, but I did get into My Little Ponies.
I had a lot of Barbies. I think it was, one of those, my mom liked Barbies, so I got them, but I did really enjoy playing with Barbie. Whereas my daughter, I gave her a couple Barbies, and they never really got played with as much as those animals. So, cool. She's an animal girl.
I didn't really have anything to talk about other than it's been really nice. It was super sunny today, and I went for a long run, and now I feel like I may have gotten a sunburn.
Oh!
Like the rest of my body was covered, but my face, I've been wearing my stray cat chartreuse and yellow hat. I guess it's kind of grello. Which I think is kind of like a cross-cultural vocabulary. But I said that in front of my brother and my mom, and they were like, what is grello? I'm like, you don't know what grello is? How do you not know what grello is? Maybe it's a knitter thing, maybe.
I don't think so.
Anyway, wearing that hat, and maybe windburn. Yesterday it was really windy, but today I just feel like my face look red. Feels red.
It's pink.
Yeah. So
It's got color.
And my kids were out playing a similar amount of time and look kind of. My son is convinced that sunburn is only from getting really warm.
Oh,
it's a burn. And I was like, no, sweetie, you can get sunburned on a cold day as well. No, you can't, Mom. That's silly. You get frostbite on a cold day. And it's like, well, your logic seems correct. So yeah, other than that, as I mentioned earlier, kind of went through my stash today and is kind of an eye-opening experience. Yes, if you ever feel like buying something, go through your stash. But kind of had a bit of cast-on-itis, as you will see, which is very odd for me. But I think it's being fueled on by the fact that I'm going to the January thaw, and I don't want in the past I've gone to things like that where you're social and you don't want to take the time to sit there and cast on, 150 stitches and count and recount, and like I just want projects that are in flight that I can kind of like swap in and out as per my need. So like a mindless knit and something that's a little more complicated if my mindless knit is just driving me crazy, like I don't want to do it. And then I'm knitting a hat because they're doing Halos for Hope.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's all because of the retreat. I'm counting my cast-on-itis as retreat related. It is a symptom of going to a retreat next weekend. Cool. Yeah, I hope the weather holds out.
Yes.
It seems like if this weather continues, that'll be a nice time to travel to Madison.
Yes, no snowstorms.
No, none whatsoever.
Or ice or whatever else you can get in January. Yeah.
Before I jump into administrati, anything else?
No.
Nothing else other than birthday?
No, I did hit the LYS, and they had a sale going on that if you acquired 3 blue skeins of yarn, you got 30% off. So I perused the yarns for something blue, and I found something. So
you'll have something in enabling.
Well, not with me.
Oh,
it's up in a bag in a room that's occupied by my mother-in-law right now. So I don't want to drag that out.
That is a very specific place for it to be. Your mother-in-law is maybe cuddling with it? No? Okay.
It's just in the craft/spare bedroom that she has all of her personal things. I don't know. It's her room while she's here, and I don't want to invade her privacy or her domain while
her setup. While she's there, she's got things all spread out like she wants to. I am still lining up self-striping sponsors for this year, including myself. I will be giving away self-striping patterns. I'll probably be a coupon code for one of my my sock patterns that go well with self-striping yarns. I created a little Ravelry bundle. Have you seen the bundles out there? I kind of like them.
I think so.
Like if you're looking at a pattern, so I've been looking at a lot of patterns lately because I've been trying to figure out what to knit with my Sun Valley MCS. Like if you look at the pattern over on the right, in addition to like the yarn, and it'll also have like also in a bundle with type patterns. It was new on Ravelry, so I like it. It's a nice ad because then the designer can say like, this is, if you like this pattern, you can see also, I picked out this wonderful skein for January from 716 in the 716 socks. 2 things all American teens should do. Take note. Die young and stay pretty. And it is a very pretty skein. I really like her kind of signature dyeing style to me is those black stripes with the splatters on the stripes in between. And these splatters are kind of a fun yellow, pink, green, kind of almost rainbow pastel-esque in between the black. So stay pretty, And so we'll be drawing for that. So get your entries in. And did I have anything else in Administrati that I wanted to speak of? We both registered for YarnOver, which we didn't talk about last week.
Yes.
So YarnOver is a local event put on by the Minnesota Knitters Guild, as I like to say it. And they have really big name teachers. You have to be a member to do the early registration, which is what we did. But I've never inquired about whether or not the classes fill up after that. So when it hits the general public, whether or not there are any spots left. I guess you could probably go out and look.
True.
I think it might be February when they open up. But unlike years past where we've kind of kept it low key, I want to invite everybody and anybody to come. I mean, we won't have like a big event or an event hall like we do at our retreat, But if you are interested and you're in the Midwest, or not even in the Midwest, just interested, come check it out. The Yarn Harlot is there. Amy Herzog is going to do the keynote speaker for the meal on the night before the classes start. Just all kinds of big names.
Yep.
Like, it would be hard to say all of them without saying that they aren't all big names.
Yes, and if you happen to check out the list and whatever, and you get really excited and you realize that things are filling up, or at least the things that you were super interested were filling up, that's when you register to be in the Minnesota Knitters Guild. Just go do that right away, and then you will get the note that tells you sometime in January you will get to register.
Yeah, for 2016. Is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, because that's kind of what happened to me with it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about it after it was done, and I hadn't become a knitter with a K yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so then a capital K. And so I went out there and went, okay, I could probably register for this so that I can get in next year.
Yep.
And I did.
Yeah. Josh is speaking, I believe, this week at one of the Minnesota Knitters Guild.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And, but yeah, so that's in April. It's generally, I can't remember the date now off the top of my head, but it's generally around my middle child's birthday. With the
April 20-something.
Yeah. And I signed up for Amy Herzog's Fit to Flatter.
Me too.
Just to see, whether or not what I think about my, what flatters me is actually what she says. I think as you knit more and more garments for yourself, you kind of start to tweak and figure out what you think works for you, but I want, confirmation from an expert.
Yeah, I was sort of kicking myself because I think I signed up for 2 classes, and I know you only signed up for one.
Yep.
Because she wanted her afternoon free for chatting.
I told myself I wasn't going to do a full day again. It just gets to be a lot.
And I probably should have listened, or had you remind me that I wanted to only take one class, because I signed up for something in the afternoon because it sounded interesting. It's like color work in brioche.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'll put off that brioche knitting until I take that class.
I was super tempted by that one because I was like, ooh, I just learned brioche. But I was like, no.
So then,
stop self.
Yes. That was the other one. But having signed up for those 2 classes and the other ones, I'm sure they're okay. The shawl. There was a weaving section, so you made your little squares from those pin looms,
mm-hmm.
the 4x4 squares from the pin looms. Zoom loom. And then the afternoon class was edging that square. And ultimate goal was a shawl.
Mm.
And I was like, even if that just told me how to join those things together in a pretty way,
mm-hmm.
it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
But besides that, it was taught by the lovely and amazing Franklin Abbott.
Yeah.
So that would have been great. But I was like, I took a class with Franklin last year. I should leave it for, leave things for other people
mm-hmm.
who haven't had a class with him yet. And I'm sure that Fit to Flatter, I'll learn something.
Mm-hmm. I always learn something. I took Grok the Sock with the Yarn Harlot mostly because I know that she's a phenomenal speaker and, had knit many socks and several designs by that point, but I still felt like I learned quite a bit.
Okay.
Just
mm-hmm.
tips and tricks and measurements and measure a person's hand, and that tells you things about their feet and history of knitting and all kinds of great stuff. She blew my mind and changed my knitting style last year when I took Knitting for Speed and Efficiency. So went from being a left-handed thrower to being a picker now, both knit and purl. I'm officially over. What else was I going to mention? Oh, National Women's Health Network. I'm at $1,300 of $1,500 on my on my goal. Wanted to thank everybody for the love out there. Specifically, I wanted to thank Dairyland Knits. He kind of made me almost cry, like watching him. I'm horribly inarticulate when talking about my sister. You could see I just kind of got very nervous. And then because it's a very emotional subject for me, but B, it's kind of hard for me to be self-promoting, and that's kind of self-promoting. So he did a very good job. Super articulate, importance of women's health issues, talked about my sister, said some very wonderful things about me. So if you haven't checked out Josh's podcast and are interested in a better talk-up than I was able to do about my own pattern.
Words, not so good.
Yeah. They came out of my mouth. I said things like, my sister died 10 years after she actually did, But it's okay. I think you guys can, it's understandable. But anyway, thank you all for the love and support. It's been fantastic. I've kind of enjoyed that things have kind of trickled in versus me trying to send all the coupon codes in a wild and crazy fury. Hopefully not a lot of delays for folks, as I feel like I'm getting them out there fairly quickly. And again, appreciate everybody that's donating directly so that I don't have to pay taxes on money that I'm just turning around and donating. So, right.
More of the money that you spend goes to the organization if you donate directly.
Yep. Which is not to say it's bad to do it through Ravelry.
Yeah.
Just
because sometimes you gotta get that pattern right now.
Yep.
Right?
Just pushing, in that general direction. FOs.
Okay, I got one.
Yay! Fitting.
I have the Joyful hat. So this was a skein of yarn from Loops, in the Sully colorway.
Sully, not Scully.
Yeah, Sully, not Scully. And it went without a hitch.
Love.
I thought my welts should be more welty, but I'm assuming that's just where I picked up. It ended up not scrunching as much. But
I don't have one.
Well, I don't know. Like the pictures, they seemed a little bit more welty. But that's all right.
What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Lucy likes it very much, and I had to stink this out of her backpack to show it to all of you.
It's so pretty.
So super warm. I got the white liner on the inside.
Super love how it marls up here and how it kind of pooled in certain places. And that, you said Loops. Beautiful color.
That's all I got.
Okay, I had a joyful as well that the recipient has received it. So Susan knit me that sweater, and for Christmas I was going to knit her something, but I ordered that knitted wit yarn, and it took a little bit longer to get here than I had thought. The autumn rainbow, I believe. You got a skein, I got 2 skeins. I kept it super secret because I was like, well, if she can knit a whole sweater and keep it secret, I'm gonna knit a hat for her and keep it secret. So I've got pictures, and she took pictures, and project page pictures, but it knit up really nicely, really pretty. It handled the crazy, because that is kind of a crazy colorway. There's lots of there's whites and reds and oranges and blues, like pops of blue in there with all of that. So that is finished object. And then I finished my mom's Hito Fude. You go on air and you say things like, I'm not really going to need to block that all that much because it already seems pretty big. And then the yarn grows like 20 times the size that it did, than it was. But I don't know. I was telling Amy, I think that it's a sign of a really good garment that, like, even though it is extremely large compared to what I wanted it to be, like, I would still wear it, like, kind of as like a slinky bathrobe / I don't know, Amy put it on. It looked really nice on Amy. And the bamboo, this is bamboo and merino from Knitting Notions. And it washed up super soft, but it did grow a lot. Like, the sleeves weren't this long before, and I didn't pin it out like within an inch of its life. It just laid it on the floor and let it dry. And this is what it did. It chose its own path. But I hope she loves it. I'm going to send it and include a note that was like, Mom, I didn't knit like the extremely large size. It grew, and hopefully you still love it. But this is my third and probably not last. I think the next keto food I make will be for my daughter. I think this would be a super cute style. It'll take some engineering because I think the smallest size is slightly larger than she is. Is he trying to lure you into his max trap? Brah! Get her.
You're pretty solid.
Get her. Get her.
No getting. To be got.
He's like, but you quit petting me. So yeah, that is that. One square quantity out of the stash. Ka-ching. And yeah, I had some whips that got on the needles after I finished that up. In the last day, I've cast on 3 things, which is an oddity in my world.
It is.
But it, again, for a special reason, for the retreat. So, do you have any whips that you'd care to talk about?
Sure. I am starting either a mitten or a glove here out of the yak yarn from Bijou Basin, and I am far enough along that I can say that its hand is really nice. It doesn't feel quite as plump as the Kivyat that I got from them, but still is very nice, and I will have more to say when I get further along. But hopefully I can give you an articulate review once I have gotten further along. I'd like to do a panel of knit stitches, not just this ribbing, and I will get there soonly. Cool. So there's that.
Can touch. Sorry, I was looking at. Yeah. Will I get to put these on before you give them away?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was that, and then I had a small goal of changing color in my colorwork hat. So I made my small goal, and I have changed color officially. And this is such a small little section. My next goal is to get back into the red and blue. But yeah, wow, this looks extra tangly. I don't know what happened there. There we go.
Special tangly.
There's that. And I have my Pump Up the Volume socks. I am turning a heel, or putting a heel on.
And that is with, again, I really love that colorway.
Yes, this is Flower Power from Socks That Rock.
It's so pretty.
And then I have the Static Zing, which has turned a OMG heel already. And I didn't do this spacious because I figured that the ribbing on here was so, the top half is so stretchy that I wouldn't really need that extra spacious. And I think I'm right. I would like to get a couple more inches before I determine that, but so far I tried it on and it fits really nice.
Cool. Very pretty. Very graphic.
Yes. And then that is in my mom's new bag. So she gave this to me this weekend.
Oh.
And it is, it's got a little divider in here. Perfect for 2 at a time or static zings.
Oh, yes.
Or color work. And then there's a little side pocket here. I don't know what she's calling this. She made this one and then one that she has her stuff in. But I'm sure that you can request it because most of my mom's site is custom order. What you do is unless it says otherwise, you go in, find a fabric, or a picture of a bag in a fabric, and then you can go in and choose the style of bag and check out. And then she will make it and send it to you promptly.
I've not seen the dividered ones in zippered wedges. I'd only seen them in like drawstring.
Yeah, she's been working on this for a little while. she said, I think I got it to work, and she showed me this bag, and I've been using it, and I do like how things are fitting inside. And it's, you know, it's kind of a halfway up the bag, and then it does have this pocket here if you had some materials or stitch markers or something that you needed to put in there and didn't want them tingling in with the yarn. And then what else did she forget. There was something else. Nope. Lost it. Don't know where it went.
Sorry, I'm semi-distracted by I'm hearing like water running or something. Husband must be up to shenanigans off air.
And then I have my top that's been bound off. Some sweetness.
Sweet!
This is rolling, but it hasn't been blocked, so it's just frustrating because, you know, it's got to be wetted and dried. But yeah, this is Sweetness by Alexis Winslow, and I will start sleeves very soon.
What?
Yeah. So I have 3 different sizes of yarn plus another ball.
Okay.
So this is the one that is up here to join in. So then I have to figure out what to do with these.
Because you saved a little bit.
Yep. Saved a little bit from the top to do the sleeve transition, but then I also have more to do sleeve transitions, and it's like, okay, do I really want to spend the time to manipulate this, or do I just set these aside, get the new ball, and then I know that I'll have enough to get through the sleeve and the other side without, I don't know. It's a tricky one.
It is a tricky widget. Wicket.
Sticky wicket.
Yes. What she said.
And that
do you feel like you're
is what is fit to be seen.
Do you feel like you're whipping it down? 2015?
I cast on that hat.
You finished it.
And I finished it. And then I cast on this. Now this is for testing, so I do feel obligated to be working on it. So it's kind of outside my nip width. You know, I'd be doing this no matter what. Because I want to test it enough to be able to share with you my thoughts on it. And, but yeah, I feel like...
The yarn, the base, right?
Yeah, the base.
Yeah.
The yarn base. And so, I mean, I just really want to get through all these socks and all these sweaters before I do anything else. Just so, I don't know. I went a little nuts on the whips. I cannot handle that many at once, apparently. But I have so many lovely things in my queue that I want to start.
Yes. I, of course, being the other half of this opposite couple, feel very outside of my comfort zone, casting on all the things I did, and had a hard time choosing some of the things that I cast on. So at the end here, we're going to review. We've got Eternity Ranch Yarn sent us some skeins to try out and review, and then also to share with you a coupon code and a giveaway. So a whole extravaganza with Eternity Ranch. And they sent us both a skein of this Winter Wonderland in their, I've got the tag somewhere, Eternity Ranch Fibers, not yarns. Base is snazzy. So this is 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And I am a sparkle virgin. I have never knit with sparkly yarn and stellina before. I do have some self-striping sock yarn that I saw today when I was going through my stash. And I, for some reason, thought it was going to be perhaps a little rough on the hands. And I'm knitting the Measure in Love with it held double. Want to grab the ball so that you can see all the pretty colors. Oh gosh, the purples and the greens and the blues.
I have mine in the skein.
Yeah. My white is kind of more towards the middle as it's skeined up. But yeah, and all of these colors I love. So this is my palette. Basically, she sent a skein of my palette to me. Purples and blues and greens in varying shades. And then, as I said, I'm a sparkly virgin, and I'm enjoying it. It's held double is always very squishy, but even just holding a single strand, it's very soft. And this Measure in Love will, as she very generously gave it to us, and so I'm going to be paying it forward as a Halos for Hope that they're collecting at the January thaw. And I just, again, I'll have to take pictures and post because you guys probably won't be able to see, but that garter just looks phenomenal with the marl and then the sparkle. And I'm hoping it's like when you go to the jewelry store and your ring really sparkles. I'm hoping that the stellina is just like ching 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 ching, and you guys are saying they're going, gosh, I wish you would put that down because it's blinding me. Because I mean, you really see the sparkle. Like, again, I don't know if in my mind I had like, oh no, you won't see very much sparkle. It's sparkle-tastic. Like, this person is going to get lots of hope from their halo because they are going to be blinged out in this hat. My other cast on at swim lessons, I cast on another Static Zing. This is out of Jenna's 716 knit 716 B flow for like buffalo, but it's BFL. I really like how the base is knitting up. It could be a mitten. It seems hardy, but at the same time, it's got a nice hand. And I kind of like that it's got a little bit of halo to it. These are very Seahawksies colors. So if you like the Seahawks, this may be the self-striping for you. This is Music, Video, Wind, and Hypno Eyes. And I am, of course, have separated it into two balls. And am working the strands.
I watched the last 4 minutes of that game like this.
The suspense was killing you?
Like, my heart was saying, they're gonna blow it. I just know it. And they did. Now, there were many flaws in the last 4 minutes of the game, plus overtime, so we're not gonna go there.
Somebody could have a T-bone and were watching us before they watched the game.
Oh,
her husband, the innocent bystander. You don't know who she was rooting for that blew it.
No.
You don't get to.
If you care at all, you've already seen it.
Okay.
I mean, I could probably like see maybe
some poor ER nurse had to TiVo the game. Jenna kind of has the signature. I'm getting us back on track. We're not backtracking anymore. Where the stripes aren't necessarily the same widths. So like you can see on the front here, the blue is a big stripe, and then the neon green and the gray are smaller stripes. And I really like it. There, I had this one row right there where the color collided, but I think it gives it character. It's like the Amish factor right here. Makes it unique. It can't be perfection. But this is, I've kind of fallen in love with that more steeply increasing toe that was in Heather Law's tube sock pattern. And so I did a more steeply increasing, and then I don't know who these are going for. I don't know if I'm going to fall in love with them and make them mine, or if I'm going to make another tube sock. Ooh, my toe's kind of home.
I think I made my toes before I read her pattern. I think that was my problem with my toes. I didn't, like, I'm going to cast on a sock. You just start making your toe.
It's a free pattern, and so you do 35% is your cast on, and then you increase every round until you have 60% of your stitches. And so
Okay.
it just is rounded. It's nice. It's a nice toe.
Okay. No, but I think mine are much pointier on my finished socks, and I think the reason is that I started that first sock
into mode.
Yeah, and
toe mode.
I went into toe mode, and then when I finally got out of toe mode and read the pattern, like, what do I got to do next? And it was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, or you grokked the sock or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, the thing that I may be avoiding with all of that other stuff is I was looking for a pattern to knit with my Sun Valley Fibers MCS, which is like knitting with pure, I don't know what you insert your favorite thing to knit here. It's just so soft with the cashmere and the silk and the...
It's been a while since I've knit with it.
It just slips right off the needle. It's like, I am too soft for you, needle. Whoosh, whoosh. This is the Forest colorway. I spent a good bit of time yesterday swatching because I thought perhaps I would come up with something. I was kind of looking for an oversized garment with possibly some lace. So you'd have to wear like a tank or something underneath it. I didn't want to make another literally over the top. Possibly something with, kind of kimono type sleeves like the Hito Fude, and I didn't find it. Like, I appreciate everybody's suggestions, but none of the patterns that were suggested just sounded right. So I did some swatching, got out my graph paper and charted out a bajillion lace motifs and knit them up, and just didn't like anything that I was coming up with either. And so then I was like, well, I am going to retreat. And so I am knitting the boxy.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's a bottom-up garment. You cast on a bajillion stitches and you knit for, I think the pattern is a cropped pattern, and so I'm going to add another 5 inches to whatever the pattern has. So it's just stocking it in the round for forever. And now this is freaking me out. It looks like it's twisted. It's not twisted. It's not twisted. It's not twisted. Okay. Not doing that again.
Chanted the mantra until
I made it so. Did you see that magic? Did you see it? I'm adding these little stitch markers here. I've got a whole set of them. So that'll be what motivates me. So that was day 1, and this is what I've accomplished on it today with all of the cast-on. This is a 40-inch needle from tip to tip. And it's still cinched up. It's a very, very big, oversized garment.
Are you sure you're not making my size?
I'm not making this for you. No, I am not. I was thinking about possibly making it a little longer so I could wear it with those leggings.
Oh, fun.
And it'll be big and billowy, so it won't you won't have to do any hip shaping or flaring, and there won't be any stretching when you sit on it because it will already be really wide. Who knows? I might get to the cropped length and be like, there's no way I'm knitting another 5 inches. But yes, if you've seen the boxy, it's a semi-simple garment, but this should be some nice knitting and chatting, stocking it in the round for 5 billion years.
Yeah, my goal for the boxy was to use DK yarn.
So you were going to do the worsted boxy. Yeah, maybe I'll make the ink with worsted, and then we can both be like, oh yeah, that crazy person did it in the lighter weight.
Yeah. Yes, lots of stitches there.
Yes, and then finally, my pattern for the this year we're doing a fun mini exchange for ZK. And the pattern that I am going to send out, it's in my little clamshell. I thought it was super cute because it's a mini project in a mini little bag from the Silver Shed. And this is Infinite Twist Helix in the Persimmon, which is a very apt name. I am going to make a for good miniaturized. I think it's going to necessitate some stitch pattern changery because I think the motif, the stitch repeat, is too wide for a mini. But I chose that pattern to be the one that you could possibly make and swap, because you can bling it out. Like, you can find fun little unique to you buttons. You could make buttons out of like Sculpey, or you could put like a little, the one that somebody made for me as an ornament has like a almost like a trinket on it, like with that tree. Do you remember that?
Yep.
The white, really soft one. And then it could also be a ornament, as all minis can be. And so yeah, I don't know if that'll get much love, because I don't know that I'll be in the right mindset for designing / documenting what I'm doing as
I had interest from 2 other designers that are in our designer showcase that are going to be making minis. So hopefully they will turn over a mini to me, and I can send it along when Megan has hers done. Yay!
So yeah, similar to what Amy did with hers, I will be adding mine to the For Good. So if you've already bought the For Good and you're not going to ZK, you could make little miniature ones if you wanted as well.
Yep. So yeah, get out there and look at our designer showcase. And also, I think I'm skipping ahead to retreat stuff here. Basically, I really want you to, if you have not, go out to our group and say I am attending to the event.
Yes.
Because that's how we're doing an attendee list, and that's how you're going to see who is going to be coming to the retreat. Yep.
And we're also going to do some fun and exciting things. We're going to have some VKNs, so people that have cameras and microphones, they can jump on and meet some people if you're brand new or if you're returning and just want to touch base with folks to get excited about going. So if you're not familiar, virtual knit night is what a VKN is, and we'll start up as many of them as we need. If every single one of us gets on, that would be quite a few. And all of the details will be out in the ZK group. So if you haven't joined that group and said that you are attending ZK 2015, you should. It's a good time.
Yes. And then if you see somebody who's attending, who's a designer, and you want to see them in the showcase, let them know.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time. I know that Megan did it, and I was off doing other things for retreaters, so I couldn't be a part of it. But it did seem like it was heavily attended.
And it was, I mean, you know, it was very low key. I was worried about people were going to feel like they needed to, you know, say, oh, I'm going to buy that or whatever. But in general, people just kind of wandered around and looked at things and oohed and awed and asked questions. And, you know, it was a very, you know, we support each other. And so it was a very supportive avenue in which folks could show off things that they've designed and knit. And, you know, it's almost like a portfolio of your work. Have a table to set out stuff. And if you are a designer and you are attending ZK 2015, you should definitely get in on that, because it's a free for everyone event. So yay. But yes, we did jump hodgepodge. Normally we put that at the end. We've got the, in enabling, we've got the Eternity Ranch yarn that I kind of already reviewed see, it's trying to jump off. It's so soft and wonderful. Reviewed my skein of this. It was so pretty in the skein. I just had to immediately ball it up. But I also got a skein of, this is Grasshopper from her Knotted Coffee collection. Very Megan-tastic, greeny. This would make a really nice pair of like cabled socks, or maybe a shawl. I've got a lot of cool clavicle covers, but I could see it as a cool clavicle cover. But Eternity Ranch, I believe, is out of Montana. Did I have their website pulled up? Hopefully. And I think I do. Nope. Oh, yep. Eternity Ranch. And Montana, yes. I got it right. And they sent us these skeins to review, and then they have a coupon code good from January 12th, which has passed, through February 7th, SZ 2015, so Stockinette Zombies, like SZ 2015 gets you 20% off for our viewers. So go check out their shop if you are interested in Winter Wonderland. I also really liked, they have a new series that they're doing. It's, well, I think it's at the top here as well, Broadway plays. They have a year-long collection based on Broadway plays, and right now Grease is one of them. So they've got the Pink Ladies and T-Birds, and it's a very bazinga. I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you actually, but I can show it to Amy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bright.
Very bright. Very, very bright. But I love it. It would make some, I can try. You might have a glare from all of our lights last week when I stood up and tried to show the back of the sweater off. All you saw was my bottom. So we'll pretend you saw that. I also liked Winter Mint, I believe, was another really pretty colorway that was a little less bazinga than that in their shop. But they're also going to have a prize giveaway. And I think because they're having a year-long Broadway musical, the prompt for the, or Broadway inspired, not Broadway musical, Broadway plays, which generally are musicals, aren't they? No? You can go to a Broadway show without singing? Okay. The one I went to had singing.
Okay.
I have limited experience. The prompt will be, what is your favorite Broadway show? Okay. Not necessarily one that you've seen, but maybe you've seen a movie, or and maybe we can give her some inspiration for upcoming colorways. Although I'm sure she's probably got lots and lots of fodder. And then you had that same skein and
then a braid of Corriedale cross, and this is, she says, non-superwash fiber. So I pulled it out a little bit and fluffed it. My experience with Corriedale is limited, so I cannot say that whether or not this is like other Corriedale that I have used before. So it does seem to be fluffing nicely, so I think that I can do something with it. It'll be fun. And it's I don't know, it's got blues on one end and it fades into, I don't know, it'll be interesting.
Purple.
Yeah.
Purpley maroon.
So yeah. But you get the 20% off, so if you wanted to give her a try,
yes,
now would be the time.
It would. That is all. Mine is out of the Snazzy base, as I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
And yeah, go check them out. I really enjoy learning about new shops. I mean, that's one of the things. Again, so much dash. I don't need anymore. But flipping through Instagram, I really enjoy people's posts about, I got this today, and so. This is a new to me and possibly new to you shop. So if you haven't gone out and given this new indie dyer a look, did it say on here when they, January 12th, 2014 is when they opened. So they're a year old.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like this colorway and her snazzy base. Very, very nice.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. My enabling that I had done this week was that yarn. I think I'll talk about it when I actually knit with it. I'm hoping to get a hold of a now in test knitting Elena Noodle pattern. I'm not a test knitter, so I'm waiting for it to get through test knitting so that I can knit it.
What is it for?
It's kind of like the Sunspots or the Poetry in Motion. But it's long sleeved and it's Aran weight.
Oh.
So it's more like a coat because it's Aran weight, and it's got pockets, and I don't know, but very similar construction, if not the same construction, but in a different weight.
Would you use your Jill Draper? That's
no.
an Aran. Okay.
No. that has, somebody gave me a very lovely pattern, the cinnamon girl one.
Oh, okay, yep.
So that was the thought, was that I would work on that one. Lots of
Cool.
cables.
Yes.
And made just for Jill Draper.
Amy Christopher's, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Amy Christopher's. And yeah, I was like, who got it for me? Just went out of my mind. So, yeah. Oh, I know. It was No Knit Sherlock.
Ah.
Thank you so much.
I'm hoping to possibly get some Sun Valley, but show restraint.
Mm.
I want to get to knit that, to test knit that Philosopher's Walk in the mittens, in her BFL vase, which my daughter asked me today. Like, what does BFL stand for? And she's like, does it stand for best friends forever? Or not best friends forever, best friends for life?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, kind of does, because I love me some BFL. But yeah, her BFL base, and to do some color work, and then possibly maybe something lighter weight to knit like a tank or something out of. But that is all I am allowing myself to get, which still sounds like a lot when you say it out loud. In my head, it was like, ooh, that's just a couple skeins. Not, I'll knit that up, zoom. It won't add to my stash. It's a good thing I wore this shirt today so that I could point to it so often, huh? When talking about stash. All right, I'm blathering.
Yes.
We've already talked about ZK.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.